Go ahead.
Buzz up.
All right, Gene,
Yes, sir.
last name.
Wong.
How you spell it?
W-A-N-G.
Which paper?
Washington Post.
Gene, the Washington Post. And what about my man right here? Harrison. I know two people. I'm working on it.
Thank you, Buzz.
I'm going to do better. I promise I am.
Where does that performance from Dickey kind of stack up against some of the greatest wins you've been a part of?
I'll tell you what, I thought Saturday was a lot of amazing things relative to what we pay attention to. And similar to the last time I saw you, I thought as we were closing down week 2, our concentration was, could we increase the capacity of our group to have more endurance and sustainability relative to the things that we think are important. And different venue, different opponent. Coach Lind is tremendous. The execution of their team, tremendous. But I do think that the endurance of our guys has continued to increase. And I think some of that, Gene, is we've tried to be very diligent and faithful in not skipping steps. Year 1, week 3, trying to make sure that we're ultra aware of the things that last and the things that matter the most in the process. And a credit to Diggy, but also a credit to those 8 guys that played in a completely different role than they've ever played. We've played 5 games, and every game there's been a different role assigned on things that we can't control, and I think that they continue to have growth. And I credit a lot of that to our staff and the teaching, the breakdown work, the clips we're showing in film. It is some elementary things that are required in this foundational work, and our guys continue to receive it, which is a credit to them.
Obviously, you've had injuries before Farrell goes down, but how much more magnified is the degree of difficulty with him not in the lineup, and what adjustments do you have to make going forward?
I think Gochi's a really talented player. And I think Gochi, I know everybody initially was thought I was foolish for saying our points per possession relative to our free throws was kind of maybe a skewed number. Gochi gets fouled at a high rate. That's important to our team. He does give us a presence of physicality on both sides of the ball. And I'm just as thankful and humbled and proud of what took place over these 45 minutes as I was the 40 minutes in Milwaukee. Because there was every opportunity to just pack up and go home in Milwaukee. And there were even more potential justifications for the same thing happening tonight. And I thought the group with very little experience together, and many of them only 5 games of experience in their life at this level, their rate of growth has been tremendous. I'm trying to do better. Harrison, student paper. Gene, W-A-N-G, Washington Post.
What's going on, Coach? My name is James Consoli. I'm with WMUC Sports Radio.
James.
Consoli. Yeah. I asked Diggy the question because obviously, you know, this win was a big one, 95-90, right? But what got you to this point? I wanted to ask, what do you guys think you could improve? He said everything, but I wanted to know your response for seeing from the sidelines.
Not to be condescending, but my coach answer would be the same as the player's answer for the first time ever. Yeah, I think the things that we're measuring, we're having growth in. I think some of the language that our guys are using in front of me is right. I think the intent of what they're doing, there is not only an understanding, there's a comprehension. Our execution level of those things have got to continue to improve. And I think being positive, not negative, it's not a thing, it's multiple things. And I think that's what makes it a delicate line of, if there's a litany of things that you have to work on, you can't work on all of them. So of that list, which ones impact winning the most often, and now split it up, and what is that list offensively, and what is that list defensively? We're playing Dre at the 4 for, so Dre plays his highest number of minutes ever in his career. DA plays his highest number of minutes ever in his career, as does Elijah, as does Diggy, as does Alex, as does Watts, as does Willie. I would say Colin may have played more than that in his career. So we played 8 guys, and 7 of them played career high minutes, and all of them to some degree, except Colin, were out of position per se, other than Alex. We played Dre 36 minutes, and I would say if you take away Collins and you take away some of Alex, I would say he played over half of those minutes as our power forward. So, like, we didn't practice that. But I do think the things that we're practicing are translating. We just need them to translate at a faster rate. And I think, without divulging too much information that seems bored, I think we have a defensive coordinator, Devin Johnson. We have an offensive coordinator, Lau Wolf. They each have an assistant. And then we kind of structure a lot of what we do relative to our meetings as coaches, even with our team, almost very football-centric. And I think the things that we're concentrating on and the ways that we're trying to gain advantages and cover up problems, I think we're having growth, but my easy answer would be everything.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. Jason? James. Consolia?
Lou Holder, Holder Sports and PGCC TV. Coach Diggy, when talking about his maturation from Kansas to now, gave you a lot of credit as far as where he is in a performance like today. I know there's the X's and O's, but you as a leader of young men and trying to affect their lives, how does that make you feel knowing that it is impacting, and a player on a 41 performance credits you and credits the confidence that you and the staff are giving him, that he feels that type of way so early on in his career here at Maryland?
Yeah, thanks for your kind words. I don't want to take any credit. I think anytime there's the amount of growth and maturation an individual's had in such a short period of time, it would be a credit to him and to his parents. Diggy's easy to like, and I'm hard to like. And so when I like someone, I'm very aware of how difficult it is to like me. But if I like you, then my aggressiveness is probably more than normal. I told Diggy yesterday after practice, somebody in here last time was running a podcast, and he called Diggy David. I've never called Diggy David. And so as he was asking the question, in truth, I was like, I don't know what he's asking. And I don't know you guys, and so I'm trying to do good in here. And so I eventually realized he was talking about Diggy running the point. So yesterday after practice, I said, hey, you know how I was telling you about that guy that was calling you David? I said, I think I need to call you something, not Diggy, not David. And he said, why? I said, it's kind of like in the Bible, like we should just change your name because you've changed your life. And he goes, Coach, I've never in my whole life been held accountable like this. And I go, yeah, well, that's why your life is changing. And then after the game, he gives me a hug, and I said, perfect opportunity. How are you going to handle this? Are you going to use an invisible mirror for somebody else? Or are you going to receive the adulation? Because your growth has happened privately, not publicly. But your growth was revealed tonight publicly. So it's a great opportunity to see how you're going to handle it. He's easy to like. And I can't coach everybody like I used to coach. And that's probably why I can still have a job. But I can coach him like I used to coach. And he asked me to coach him that way. And he texts me 72 times a day. Really, really life-related, personal, hardcore stuff. So I'm happy for him.
Hey, Buzz. George Gerbo, Washington Times. Congratulations.
What's your last name, George?
Gerbo. Gerbo.
Did everybody call you George growing up or Gerbo?
Gerbo among friends, and then George,
Yeah, I like
school and
Gerbo.
whatnot, so
I like Gerbo.
Serbian. Congratulations on the win. You were probably your most animated early in the second half as Elijah's wrestling for that ball underneath the backboard on your end. I'm assuming that's what winning in the margins looks like. What does that type of play do for you and for your guys as they're battling through the second half?
Yeah, I was so happy. Too animated, technical worthy. And then I think it was in the first half, loose ball over here closest to our bench. And DA, we call it Superman. Is it 10 fingers and 10 toes in the air? We call that a loose ball. Falling over and reaching, that doesn't count in how we measure. DA had a Superman to Watts, and we scored on the other end, and I called timeout. And first time DA's done that. And Elijah continues to be more physical, be more aggressive. I don't think it's his nature, but his nature is bending. We politely touch them with pads every day. And when I get a hold of a pad, because I have permission from his dad, I try to hurt him. And he's starting to come around, and we need him to come around. He played, he played all but 1 minute and 3 seconds, and he got 5 rebounds. I personally think he can do more, and I understand he spent 20-plus minutes of that at the 5, confused about what we were doing, and you could tell some of our possessions were scattered at best because they're trying to figure it out, but we've had a day and a half of trying to manipulate it all. But we need we need all of them. But we need E to hurry up.
Last one to Nolan. Hey, Coach. Nolan Rogal.
I've seen you before.
Yes, sir.
Are you with the DBK?
I am with Testudo Times. We're the other student paper, the other big one.
Which one's better?
I'll let other people answer that question.
Isn't that a good question? That's a fair question. If I've never read it and I'm never going to read it, I'd just like to know.
Well,
What is your name again?
Nolan Rogalski.
Thank you. It's Jason Console with something else. This is Harrison, student paper. Gene, I know. Gerbo, I will never call you George. Which one? Not that we're friends, but we can act like it. Which paper? James, a radio station. Nolan, what's your last name?
Rogalski.
Another student newspaper.
Yes, sir. So, obviously a game that the fans loved in the end, maybe not as much of a coach's dream It's certainly not every day that a team's going to shoot 50% from three against you. Is there something in your sort of preliminary on the sidelines watch that you would attribute that to, whether it be a career day from your opponents or something within your team?
Yeah, I think Devin has made some really good adjustments, and we're playing a mishmash defense. Parts of what we have done still apply. Some of the changes have been relative to our roster. And I think the thing that has hurt us the most, other than defensive rebounding percentage, is the percentage of times the opponent has gotten to the paint. And so we've made some adjustments to try to protect the rim more. And when you make those adjustments, you're probably giving up something. You're not going to be able to do both. And so tonight, they got to the rim 28% of the time. A really good job. A negative is when teams are getting to the rim, they're scoring at an astronomical rate. So how can we defend without fouling? We got fouled more in Milwaukee than we fouled them. That was the first time ever. We played the second half in Milwaukee without getting to the bonus, first time ever. Tonight in the first half, they didn't get to the bonus. First back-to-back times we've ever done that. So we're not fouling as much. We want to play to get fouled and defend without fouling. We're doing a really good job of that. Our adjustment to protect the rim has helped us, but the consequence, the byproduct of it is we're going to give up more threes. I think Saturday was the highest number of three-point field goal attempts in Coach Smart's career, other than his first game as the head coach there. They shot 41 threes in his first game there. They shot 40 threes on Saturday. Our contest, and it is something we measure, and we have made improvement individually. It's what we measure. He did go on a heater. We tried to adjust. The adjustment was right. The execution of the adjustment wasn't right. But that's going to happen again because you got to figure out one or the other. And we were just have gotten through 2.5 weeks. We've gotten beat up in the paint too much. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Harrison.